I want to show you the most important GM piston to remove in a transmission and how to remove it, what tool to use, because it's like that hard to reach spark plug. It's probably not been removed and the seals probably haven't been changed. This is going to be true for almost all GM automatic rear-wheel drives, and it's the bottom piston for the low reverse clutches. And this is my favorite tool for it. I will put a link in the description of the video. The reason this is my favorite is because, for one thing, it's simple. I have other tools that'll do this, but they're not quite as simple and they're not quite as quick and easy to use. Before I shove it down in there and it gets in the way of the camera, I want to show you what we're after. It's that snap ring right there. See the opening? It happens to be facing towards one of those little divots. That's not ideal, but it's not impossible. Once I've found the snap ring end location, so I'll know where I'm going to be putting my snap ring pliers to get it loose, and I know where I need the most of my room, then I know where to put the crossbar. Now, if that opening had been over here, I would put the crossbar like right here. But since it's down here at the bottom of the transmission, I'll put the crossbar across from side to side and hook here and here, which is going to be a little difficult for filming because normally I would stand this straight up, and then when I hook this in here, it would just sit there. But because I'm filming, I've got it on its side and it's wanting to drop out of place. Now, I've got quite a gap there, so I'm going to go ahead and close up some of that gap. You can see this moves around for you, but I want it to be lined up with the crossbar. And now that I've closed up most of that gap, I'm going to hold this in place and spin it at the same time. Final adjustment here while I've got some pressure on it. It just stay by itself. Now I'm going to crank down on this to where it pushes on the return spring, not just a little bit but a lot, because I want a good sized gap there. And you see it's kind of bottomed out there, but this is going to be in my way, so back off a little bit. Now this is lined up with the crossbar, which is lined up with the foot, and then my opening is still accessible. I can get in there with my snap ring pliers. I've got kind of big hands, so I can't really see past my big hands. Okay. Almost got it. There. Now I've got this up over the edge, and I can work it with my finger and knock it the rest of the way loose. And there's the snap ring right there. That quick and easy. And this is not an expensive tool either. This is actually one of the cheaper, simpler, easier to use tools. And I've used it, this one right here, I don't remember what brand it is. So I don't know if it's going to be the same brand as the one I linked to, because I've been using this one for over 30 years. So it's about 30 years old. So I think we can safely say that it's going to have some longevity. And I built anywhere from 400 to 600 units per year for 25 years. So I know it can hold up to some high volume work. And then there's the return spring, and then the piston. A lot of these pistons, the seals are like really hard because they've never been replaced. Oh, and if you hadn't already taken, see this sticks down in there? If you hadn't already taken your linkage loose, let me move this out of the way and show you. This right here, taking that loose so that you can get the part bullet out. so that this can come back and relax. Without that coming back and relaxing, your piston's not going to come out. That's another reason why people think they can get away with skipping replacing the seals on that piston, and they'll just leave it in there, and then the transmission fails later because it burns up the low reverse clutches. And it's only coming out so far with me pulling on it. So there's two techniques that I use. Number one is I like to blow air in there and force it out with the air. If that doesn't work, good old-fashioned, move the camera so you can watch. Keep a stiff rubber mat down here. It's not just good on the feet. It's good for when I'm getting center supports out. Like you can see that center support laying there. And I pick it up. And my aim is to get as much of the surface area of the bell housing touching at the same time as possible. And just drop it. Look at that. Works like a charm. Don't want to go at the edge or anything like that, because even with the rubber mat, you're hitting just one portion of the bell housing. You could crack something or chip something or dent the aluminum. Don't want to do any of that. We don't want to do harm. We don't want to cause damage. We want to repair damage. We want to make things better, not worse. We want to fix and improve something every day, not tear stuff up. But there it is. It's out. And look, oh yeah, those are so hard and brittle. They won't move at all. You know, I'll grab my thumb there and my fingernail there, and I'll push it up and then grab the edge and peel it out. These are not budging at all. Let's see. Get it with oh gosh, just a little bit of movement is all I can get. I'm going to have to literally break that seal to get it out of there, or cut it with a pocket knife without cutting the edge of my aluminum. Yeah, those just don't get replaced. Just a simple, cheap tool that makes one of the hardest jobs on the transmission one of the easiest jobs on the transmission, and then you won't be reluctant to do it anymore. In case you're interested in more, I'll put a link in one of these corners to my transmission repair playlist, and a link in the other corner to my auto repair playlist. Hey, if you like this video, we got a whole lot more. We got tool reviews, we've got repair videos, we've got show car videos, hot rods, mod rods, you name it. If it's got wheels on it and an engine, it's probably on this channel. So subscribe, like, and binge watch Saneauto.